How you doing?
Good. How are you
Yeah,
guys?
yeah, good, thanks. Yeah, good. We were all right, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
pretty
is
good.
not really our natural. We sort of get wheeled out, and all these people are so brilliant, right? And they look so at ease, and then, yeah.
Well, the great thing is, Comic-Con is filled with a bunch of nerds.
Yeah, right.
Nerds are very nice, and we
Yeah.
understand any awkwardness
It's
or
good.
weirdness.
A lot of overlap in the writer-nerd
Yes.
communities,
Oh,
I think.
100%.
Yeah.
A lot of a lot of nerds are writers nerds.
Right,
And
yes. Yeah.
With a show like this, I love it because it has the kind of humor that, like, I love, like Malcolm Tucker, who
Okay.
like for In the Loop, in the Thick of It, and then
Yeah.
I love Veep, and I love and it's the same kind of humor, but it is in a world that I know a lot more about because I don't know
Okay.
politics,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I do know movies and fandom.
Yeah.
And so when you're working on a show like this, how fun is it to kind of know, like, the people who, like, that weird Venn diagram of people who like those shows but maybe don't know a lot,
Yeah.
but now are going to be like, well, I know a lot about superhero movies and stuff like that, are going to have those moments where they're like, oh, finally, one where I'm going to even know the jokes better because
Right.
I get it.
Yes, and I guess for writing it, yeah, having worked on things about American politics or American news media, whatever it is, I'm like you, I don't know those words either, and it's like learning a different language, right? You just have to speak to people that know it. But for this, I think all of us, right, straight away, we didn't really have to do the research on that side of it because we've all spent so much time on movie sets and TV sets, and also I think all of us have some level of fandom about something. You know, I was more video games really growing up, but also like movies in the 90s pretty heavily. And I think we all know what fandom is like, and we all have our own, passions and things. So it was we were able to write it from a place of real affection for these films, not from a place of like, we're not like loads of art house, although Julie did say pretty good comic graphic novel, Art Spiegelman, Mouse.
I gotta bring up the Holocaust.
yeah. But we're all really we all really like these films and know a lot about them, and so the research in that sense was really easy because it's not. And we would go in the writers' room, right, and go and watch the latest franchise releases and go and watch
We
the
saw
latest.
a couple in theaters too.
Yeah, we'd go out together, and that was really fun. It's like it's going to it's not a hardship, right, to have to immerse ourselves in that world.
Yeah, we saw Guardians 3 together in London.
Yeah.
It was really fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good homework.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which someone watched. Anyway.
Shazam on the plane. That was me.
Right.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Shazam 2 on the plane
Yeah,
to London.
Shazam 2. Yeah, shit. I mean,
Shazam 2.
yeah.
Yeah, I know. We were just talking about that.
Yeah.
Is that so I didn't know a ton about Zach Levy before, and now I know a ton about Zach Levy. Was that a surprise to people who knew?
No.
Okay.
Not recent Zach Levy. A couple years ago, maybe, but not recent.
Okay, so you're like that tracks.
Yes.
Like,
Okay, cool.
Yeah, he was going like, he's like, that's a little weird.
Yeah.
And then it's like,
And then it went
RSK Jr.?
Yeah.
That's really
brainworm
weird. That's
really-
Right. Yeah.
yeah.
People don't talk enough about the brainworm, and I will die on that hill.
Talk about the bear too much.
Yeah.
And the brainworm. And was there a theory that? No, what was it that he did eat? He ate a dog, and that may have caused the brainworm, or is this?
Possibly.
Anyway,
he
I
was
thought
going
it
to
was
eat the bear.
He was gonna
He was
eat
gonna
the
eat the
bear.
bear that he left
The
with
bear
the
that was shot.
This is just
Sorry.
Sorry. It's not.
This is what the writers' room's like, though. So it gives you a good sense if you've ever wondered what happens in a writer's room. It is just like this all day, right?
Yeah.
You just start on.
Discursive.
Yeah. Maybe, and then you're like, well, maybe Peter's got a brainworm. You're like, yeah, maybe that might be good.
Season 2.
Yeah, we did have one story where, what was it? We had this. This is not going to go. It's not going to be a great anecdote, but we had a story in the room about Richard becoming paranoid that his head was getting bigger.
Yes.
And that his helmet wasn't fitting for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
And
his
we thought-
beanie felt tight or something. Do you
that-
remember that?
It was
Yeah.
his helmet,
Oh
and
no,
then
that was Adam. I'm sorry.
Right. Yeah.
he was wondering whether it was his ego could literally cause
His actual head to get bigger.
his actual
anyway,
head to get
anyway, you can see why that didn't go
Yeah.
in the show. But sorry, that's a tangent.
Oh, well, speaking of politics, kind of.
Uh-huh.
I was surprised to find that a lot of politicians love Veep. I thought they would
Right.
think like, oh, you're making fun of me. Have you heard anything from your friends or family who work in the industry that are like about the show so far?
A people here. Like, I loved hearing. We did a screening last night, and I just met someone at that table working VFX.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so it's been really cool to hear feedback from people who are like, you don't see a lot of VFX people on screen.
Right.
And, how many episodes have you guys seen? Oh,
I've seen 3.
I've seen 2.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
okay.
Cool. VFX
Right.
plays a larger part in the season going forward. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I have some actor friends who have expressed extreme jealousy at the size and sort of luxury of the trailers in the show.
Yeah, right.
So are any of the characters based on like specific people that you've met in your like career, or are they more like an amalgamation of like a bunch of people?
Yeah, I'd say composites of people that we've met. Yeah, certain dynamics you take from like actors that you've worked with, like the relationship between Adam and Peter. Yeah, it's like you take little bits, and from the research, I guess, the more people you speak to, you start to build up ideas. And honestly, a lot of it comes just from the cast. That's one of the most pleasing things of working on a show is when you've got an idea of what it is, and then it actually becomes like I would say Lolly's character Dag.
Yeah,
There's a
there's a
baby?
baby.
Is that?
Like there.
oh, there's
Where's
Oh
the baby?
no, not the lights.
Are you all gassed like me? Is there a baby?
no,
in there?
there's
there's
a
a
baby.
baby crying.
Oh, and there goes the lights.
Is this
Is
happening
this happening?
because
Yeah.
of the baby?
Yeah.
No, it happened
It's
yesterday.
It's nap time.
Did
Yeah.
it?
Wait, are we all not moving enough?
Ah, is that what it is?
That's
You don't need to do that.
hilarious.
Moving around to keep the lights on. That's funny.
There might be something because
Yeah, well,
Sometimes
because
we
it's
numerous
solar paneled in here, or it's like solar powered, I think, to a degree in Javits. So it's
And
like,
it's just really, New York has the energy efficient rankings and everything, so.
don't get me started on the
Okay.
energy efficient rate.
Really?
My
What's
hotel
your-
had a C on it, and I got really scared. I know it had A for clean and everything like that,
okay.
but I was like, where am
yeah, my apartment building is like a D, and I'm like, I don't control that, so why do you like?
I'm going to
Is there,
just
like,
go out on a
training
limb
for
and say
anything?
this is my favourite interview that I've ever done.
Yeah.
It really is just like talking to people, and
We're
it's
very-
about absolutely anything. It's like energy
We're like
efficiency.
energy efficient rating.
Don't get me started, but I do want to get you started because I want to know what.
Oh, my roommate just has a very strong opinions on whenever they are bad. And so our building went from an A to a B, and she went on a tangent for an
Oh,
extended
shit.
period of time. She's like, well, "Why do we have the lights on?" And I was like, "It's not up to us. Just let it go."
What would cause it to go down?
Yeah.
Just the
Well,
idea is like if
wastage.
you have like if your lobby's lights are on nonstop
Oh, I
and
see.
you're,
So you
you're
get-
wasting the lights instead of like having energy power ones that like automatically turn when you open the door and like
It's
New
good.
York
It
is
feels-
real big on it.
It's like a good Seinfeld. It'd be a good
Yeah.
sort of C story
Yeah.
in a Seinfeld, a Kramer sort of episode. It's good.
Seeing how still he could be.
right. Not
He's
moving.
like trying to turn off all the lights in the apartment
Yes,
building
yeah.
to get a higher ranking.
Right.
That's
They
good.
made a big deal at my job about like, oh, make sure you like turn off your computer when you leave, and I'm like, the lights are on 24/7. But yeah, my
Oh,
computer.
but they'll
is
also
on.
send all of us like little power things that you can like turn off. Like you can plug it into the wall, plug everything in, but then turn it off. So then you don't have to worry about unplugging things.
Oh, like
It's
the power
very
strip.
no, not a power strip. It's literally like one just for one
Are you
little
supposed to
plug.
unplug things?
Yeah, you're not supposed to keep
still
your stuff plugged
draws.
in.
Yeah, that still draws energy apparently
Where does it go?
into the thing that's not being used.
Oh.
Well, it's like your laptop can charge when your laptop is just like
Yeah.
sitting there and it's shut.
See, I
and
never
it's powered
charge.
off,
All my
but-
devices are on 5% at all times.
Yeah.
They're all on life support. They're in hospice
Really?
care.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Plus.
never. I
A
just,
plus.
okay.
Okay, I have like a somewhat serious question.
Oh, yeah.
Just something I know Rachel and I have dealt with being women on the internet and
Yeah,
Rachel-
yeah.
with anything fandom related.
Yeah.
Rachel gets it because she's very she's popular.
Just say
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm trying to give some context to it.
No, it's good.
Like what? Are you guys worried about maybe some toxic fanboys reacting to that, or are you hoping maybe they see the error of their ways?
I mean, is it very like sort of something to say like that writers are unseen in general and don't bear the brunt of any. I mean, you are a journalist, so it's different. Like they actually see you, but I don't think I haven't had that experience, and I was not worried about it. Are you worried about it?
No, not really. No, I don't. I think it's all right, isn't it? Like, it's unlikely, and if it happens, I feel really comfortable in what we say, and it's true, right? Like that episode is about women, female characters, and what can happen to the actresses that end up in that world. And it's all of it is based on stuff that's public domain that people know is true and that really happens. And it's really terrible. It's like fucking hell. Like bomb threats now feel so, or death threats have just become so like by the by, run of the mill, and you're like, people just brush it off. It's just like a few death threats, you know. It's like, what's happened to us? It's like fucking hell. So yeah, who knows? I don't know whether it will antagonise anyone, but I think we're on pretty solid ground. I don't know how you feel.
Yeah,
really.
I think we haven't said anything that isn't true. That hasn't actually happened to actresses in these films. No, I mean, being a woman on the internet is the worst thing you can be.
Yep.
Is that right? Yeah. And also, it would have been dishonest of us not to have reflected that in some form. In some ways, you could argue that we haven't really gone far enough, because it's such a big part of this world, but it's also quite a dark place, and I didn't want to sort of spend too much time in it because it is quite bleak. So we talk about it a bit, but you know, hopefully it's a small part of the fandom. I don't know whether that's true, but that's what I hope
It
is
is
true.
small, just loud.
Yeah.
Yes.
Small
Yeah,
but
yeah.
That's the thing.
militant. Yeah.
That's what the thing is. They're just very loud and very death threaty,
Yeah.
which is like makes it even louder
Yeah.
compared to like
The death threats tend to stick around more than the compliments.
Yeah, the other
Yeah.
threats too.
Yeah.
You always remember the death threats.
I do have a question that is silly.
Good. Lighten it up, please.
There are so many Veep memes on the internet. Every new day, there's a new one that works. And I do think it's very fun when you're making a show like this that people who love things like Veep and the thing and all that are going to come and watch. Do you guys ever hope you're like, okay, like I hope this is the meme. Like I hope this is the one that the people are going to like use as their reaction image for the next 5 years?
It'd be amazing. Yeah, that would be really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might also impress my kids, which is difficult for me. They're so uninterested in TV and films that it means nothing to them that they really think this is cool. Like I can't wait to go home and tell them. I'm gonna give them my passes, and they'll be like, Comic-Con, that's really cool. If there was anything like that, they would really love it. Yeah, so hopefully that'd be really nice. I guess that is the first real indication that you're starting to hit somehow, is if people are, you know, repurposing it. So yeah, hope so. Hopefully Dag's got enough stuff that people could use, or yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Her reactions are definitely the kind of reaction memes that people might latch on to.
Yeah.
Oh, I already can see the one where after Billy's being reassured that he's not turning into a sheep, he's kind of like brave, but like really scared.
Yeah.
I see.
I'm like, I want to
right.
give
It's just
that.
going to be Billy
somehow.
Madness.
Yeah.
Streaming shows tend to like get canceled early. So like when you're writing something for streaming, do you plan for more seasons, or do you just like this is, or do you write each season like? Sorry, I'm not phrasing this well.
It really is one season at a time.
Yeah.
Like you can't, even on Succession, and we knew that was at a certain point it felt like it was pretty solid, but even then you can't really get ahead. I don't think. Sometimes you hear people say we've got like a 5-season arc for something, but I don't know that that's a good idea, right?
No, I think that's like a selling point, but not something that's necessarily good. I feel like I've seen so many shows that leave you on a cliffhanger and then they get canceled, and you're like, no, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
I think you need sort of you hope and you plan, but you also want to have a good endpoint just in case.
Yeah, it's tough. It can be a challenge in the writing to balance the, I think, dramatic need for like closure, and you want the stories to resolve and characters to, you know, move from point A to point B, but you also don't want it to be so satisfying that you don't want to check back into the world. It's not a movie. So yeah, I think it was a balance of that.
In that way, I guess we have the same problem as the thing we're satirizing, right? Which is franchise movies which don't ever resolve, that they always need to leave enough stuff enough loose ends that there's another movie. So yeah, I guess in that way we had a similar thing to try and get a satisfying conclusion, but that had a promise of something different.
Yeah, and Marvel bringing back Robert Downey Jr.
Yes.
is just a different guy is unbelievable.
Yeah, yeah.
So even when things
Yeah,
end,
and that
they
is-
can be repurposed.
Yeah.
I love it. Thank you guys so much.